Welcome back to 843 TV. We're now going to send it over to Bob Stevens, who's joined by Steve Riley and David Bennett, the town of Hilton Head manager and the mayor of Hilton Head, respectively.
A historic moment on Hilton Head Island, certainly, with Hurricane Matthew coming to visit, joined by the mayor of Hilton Head, David Bennett, the town manager, Steve Riley. Guys, Steve, I'll ask you first, since you've been here the longest. Ever seen anything like this?
I have seen, I've been to storms that were worse,
Okay.
but this is an amazing amount of destruction.
Yeah, it certainly is. Mayor Bennett, you two had to kind of coordinate from two different places, and I think there's a reason for that, and a good reason that why you happened to not be here when it happened, and yet because you had probably more communications access than he did at some points, it worked out okay?
Well, there were certainly points in time where that was definitely the case. My family happened to be out of town on a vacation before this all started, and unfortunately that vacation came to an abrupt end as soon as Governor Haley issued the mandatory evacuation order. And you know, I asked Steve, Steve, should I be back there? Should I be here? What do we need to do? And you know, he urged me to stay where I was, just so that we didn't lose a single second of being able to communicate with one another, with other officials that we needed to communicate with, and most importantly, our citizens.
Were there times, though, when you felt like all the rest of us who evacuated felt like, boy, I really want to know what's going on, and all I've got here is the Weather Channel? I mean, you did have more access than we did, but
my
sometimes not.
My heart wanted to be here, and
Absolutely.
you know, from a community perspective and from a personal perspective, I mean, we didn't even get a chance to prep our house, anything. Right. We left, and I had dogs in kennels, and I'm trying to arrange for, you know, dealing with them, and you know, it was just a very uncertain, uneasy time.
Yeah.
So.
Steve, what was it like in the EOC as the storm rolled through? We were all watching it on the Weather Channel, but obviously that wasn't the whole story. You guys were getting that and a whole lot more.
Yeah, we were getting very detailed briefings from the National Weather Service, and every briefing was less hopeful than the last briefing.
Really?
And that really caused concern. But people, you know, we have trained for that evacuation. We think we've trained for this. I'm not sure anybody really trains for this, but there was a sense of grave concern, but also always a we can do this spirit.
Yeah, let's talk recovery now. That's where that's the mode we're in over the next few weeks, and I guess it's going to be months. From a management of the town standpoint, gee, we're not talking about beach renourishment for a while anyway.
Actually,
or are we?
We are.
Okay.
You know, the beach took a hit.
Absolutely.
And what we tell people is the beach did its job.
Okay.
Those dunes absorbed the shock, the sand that we've placed absorbed the shock, but that sand is someplace else right now.
Right.
And we may be the first community in history that got hit by a hurricane and has a dredge 2 miles up in Safe Harbor. We need to take advantage of that. There are emergency permits that will let us rebuild the beach to where it was before the storm. It's going to cost, but we have actually got to figure out, among everything else, I got to figure out how to keep that barge operator here, that dredge operator here, and we need to take advantage and get our beach built because we will be years waiting if we let them get away.
Absolutely. And so that's on the pipeline politically. That's where you guys have to be in that standpoint. You've been talking to government officials and having to deal with that part of it. The FEMA's people are in town this week. They're doing their thing. We've gotten the disaster declaration from the president. What else can happen? What else are you going to be trying to make happen over the next few weeks as well?
Well, I mean, first I just want to back up and comment on what Steve said. That is an enormous blessing for our community, because when you think about the path of Hurricane Matthew, and that it literally went up half the coast of Florida, the coast of Georgia, most of the coast of South Carolina, into North Carolina, there's going to be a lot of demand for dredging operations to bring sand back to the shore, and we are first in line. And so we need to do what we need to do as a council and as a town management to make sure that we preserve that.
Yeah.
And
can the government help that? Can the disaster declaration and FEMA and all of that stuff, does that help? It all fits in line then?
There is actual federal, we have put ourselves in position and have years ago submitted and keep resubmitting, updating plans for beach management that qualify us for FEMA reimbursement to take ourselves back to where we were before the storm. So we're going to, it's reimbursement. You got to spend and then ask for the money back. But we have positioned ourselves for this, and it's an opportunity we got to seize.
That's terrific. You were on this side of the bridge when everybody was having to come over. The welcome home sign that somebody hand painted and put out there was awfully welcome. It made us all feel good. And yet you had to keep us away for a while.
There's a great deal of difficulty in finding that balance between trying to get things to some relative level of safety and recognizing that we need to get businesses back, we need to get people back. They want to see their place, they're running out of money. A lot of people need to get back to work. And where is that balancing line? And I've heard the chatter about all of that, and what I'm telling people is I'm looking ahead. I snapped off the rearview mirror, I'm moving ahead, and if you can tell me where that conversation gets me any traction today, okay. But we made a difficult decision in a balancing act of where is that between safety and letting the community see what they have. I talked to a guy yesterday who said, I came, I saw, I'm leaving again for a few days. I wish more people would do that.
Yeah, and let it take its course. You've got to keep the spirit. You're the town's cheerleader, among other things. The town is looking forward, and I catch a good vibe as to what's going on right now and where we're looking ahead.
As do I, for the most part, and I've communicated to our town council members that we really need to be out in the community, visiting, finding out what the circumstances of our residents, just encouraging them that we're all in this together. We're going to get through this. I mean, and when you think about it, that we're only 5-6 days out from the backside of that hurricane, and these are the conditions on the ground. And I have to tell you, if someone would have asked me, before all this came to be, is this where we would be within 5 days? My gut would tell me no, and yet we are. And I think that's a testament to, to Steve. That's a testament to our town staff that's been working. That's a testament to, our fire and rescue people, everyone that has been pitching in, the county, our state legislators, the governor. Congressman Mark Sanford was down on the ground yesterday. So, we're all working together. And if there's one thing that I truly treasure on Hilton Head Island, it's our people. They are extremely capable, they are very giving, and they are go-getters, and we're going to get it done.
What great thing comes out of this? What do we, a year from now, look back and say, wow, something really good happened out of something really bad? Have you gotten to that thought yet?
Well, just from my own experiences in life, adversity has a way of drawing people together. I was talking to Councilwoman Kim Likens, and she was telling me about how her husband was out, and he's having more chats in the last couple of days with neighbors than he's had in some instances in the previous year. And that's a good thing. You realize that there's other people out there. You have needs, they have needs, and working together puts you both in a better spot.
Absolutely. Communities and neighborhoods coming together. Mother Nature has a way of scrubbing things out, and I think that may have happened here too. Is that a good thing that happens for this town? Maybe we don't see it in the next 6 months, but years from now we say, okay.
Yeah, I mean, in places where these have come through, you lose a lot of trees, you lose this, but new stuff starts to grow, and nature remakes itself maybe a little bit differently. So it's all going to be okay going forward. This is what nature does, and we just got to kind of work with nature.
All right. It's great to see you guys together. Any other messages we need to get across to anybody?
Be positive.
There you go. Be positive.
Hilton Head strong.
There you go. There you go. The mayor, the town manager, see, they do love each other. Thanks so much to both of you for spending a few moments with us, and we will continue with our special as we recover from Hurricane Matthew.
Thanks, Bob. We'll be right back with more 843 TV.